and welcome to Baseplate Reviews. Today's going to be a little update video just showing you what I've been up to in terms of purchases and what you can expect to see coming up on the channel in the next few weeks with regards to builds and reviews. Plus I'll show you the tiny bit of building I've done for the city, although it's not been much as after all it's been summertime. Before that though, I'd like to just ask if you do watch and enjoy that you consider subscribing if you're not already, of course, because once we're up to 1,000 subs, YouTube will start to pay out for the views we get, and that can fund a few more purchases over the next year. And that means more unbiased and independent reviews versus the people getting sets for free from LAN, which is the LEGO Ambassador Network. Anyway, on to the video proper.
Okay, so recently I actually did a build and review of the Creator 3-in-1 Modern House, and this is what we were left with, the kind of third of the three builds. And if you saw that review, you'll know that one of the problems was we were left with a lot of leftover pieces when we didn't do that kind of main build. And actually one of my viewers, Luis, has said that he was considering either getting this or the Creator 3-in-1 Cozy House, which I do actually have a build of here. I haven't done a review of it, it was built before the channel. But if we take a look at that, this is obviously the main build. That was more the C build for the modern house. But this is a really nice set. And if we actually look at the boxes, because I have an extra one of these cozy houses, because I was planning on doing some kind of mock, potentially, maybe doubling up the kind of A-frame one of them. So if we take a look at this, we've got 808 pieces, and the modern house we're at, I think we compare it just here, 939 pieces. But in terms of price, so Canadian dollars where I am, this one with just 131 more pieces is 50 Canadian dollars more than the Cozy House, and I believe that's 40 US dollars. So if you are going between the two, then I'd have to advise the Cozy House. I think obviously different stylistically than the modern house. That's a modern house, this is a Cozy House, but actually some nice alternate builds. I think the kind of lakeside cabin there is really good. Maybe not so keen on the kind of tall townhouse style, but yeah, if you're going to choose between two, then this is the one to go for. But that's what I've been doing build wise recently. Otherwise, other than that, in terms of my city, really the only extra thing I've done is build up an extra 3 of these cobbled roads, and I'm going to get those placed in the Chinatown section of the city, so join me over there and I'll slot them in. Those of you that have seen my city before will know that it's pretty established in terms of the downtown core. We do still have a few spaces where we can do some extra stuff around there and up to the back there where the tables actually bare. But the real area where there's lots of work to be done is this raised section, which is the Chinatown section of the city. And a lot of that is actually the landscaping that needs to be done. So we've got a few of these cobbled roads, but we've got all this bit which needs to cover where the track is. Actually, in terms of buildings, the only one that's properly placed is actually the downtown noodle shop, which has been mocked up. So that was a Creator 3-in-1 set, which I've expanded upon and made into a fully enclosed building. And bearing that in mind, we need to get the landscaping done. These extra cobbled roads are going to come in really handy, so I'll get those placed in there and then we'll take a look at what this now looks like. So we've got those cobbled roads in place now, and that's actually stretching down 96 studs in length, so 6 of those 16 by 16 plates. And although there's still a gap at the back, I actually don't think I'm going to be doing all of that as cobbled roads, because I think I'll place one of these buildings or a different building right along the back there, which will kind of be a focal point for looking down. So there'll be one big building at the back, so I don't really need another 16 by 16 cobble road, maybe just a little bit leading up to it and then going up some steps to where building will sit. Still need to get some steps coming up to here. So one of those ideas is that we'll actually have some kind of landscaping just around here, winding its way up to there, and also then some formal steps which should be just around and over here leading up as well. So yeah, that's really it in terms of the city update. Not too much that's being done, but as we move into the autumn, into the fall, then I'll really get to work on this. Have got some parts to be ordered and also some other parts that I've picked up which are going to help with the kind of melting of this. Anyway, get on to the purchases that I've made and the reviews and stuff that are going to be coming up. In terms of purchases, we'll start off slow and then get to the exciting bits. So about 3 weeks ago we were at the Lego store and picked up a couple of pick-a-brick boxes, and inside here is basically a load of plate and bricks that we've stacked. So these were absolutely rammed, and that's going to really help with some of the landscaping. A lot of 2x2 bricks, which is exactly what I need for building up the structure for the Chinatown section. After that, it looks like, once I move these out of the way, I've become some kind of rabid Lego Star Wars collector, and these are actually 9 of this set. So this is 75358 Tennu Jedi Temple, and this is one of the most overpriced sets I've ever seen, not just Star Wars, any kind of set. So 124 pieces, and this went for $40 US, 50 Canadian. So, you know, pretty out there. It does have 3 minifigs which are all apparently unique to this set. So we've got Master Yoda, Lys Soleil and Kai Brightstar there. So that's always nice, getting minifigs and Star Wars ones especially, but there's no way I'd have been spending 50 Canadian dollars on this. We found these for 15 Canadian dollars in Walmart, and we actually cleared the shelves of them, so there were 9 there and we picked up 9. And yeah, 15 Canadian dollars works out about 11 US dollars. I think that you can work out that the minifigs alone, 3 of those are going to be worth more than 11 US dollars. So really just picked up as investments. And yeah, I most likely won't be building any of these, holding on to them for a little while. Hopefully these figs aren't created anywhere else and we can turn a nice profit off in the future. As you can tell from the bulk buying of those Lego Star Wars sets, I do like a bargain, and I actually saw this McLaren F1 car with a really nice discount on Amazon. I've already built the Mercedes F1 car, and I think this will be one that goes nicely with that in terms of displaying it. It looks like it's a really accurate representation of the real thing. So I did pick that one up as well, and I will do a build and review of that on the channel. But separately to that, we were at the Lego store for the new release day for September, and there were some Harry Potter promos going on, and we picked this one up. It's not a brand new set, so this is the kind of micro scale Hogwarts Castle and Grounds, 220 Canadian dollars, and goes for I think 170 US dollars. But actually, by picking this up, it's enabled us to pick up a couple of the gifts with purchase that were available. So we got the Borgin & Burke's Floo Network, and I'm really tempted to actually kind of mock this out into a Borgin & Burke's set. We'll need to purchase some pieces. We also got the small poly bag, which is Draco in the Forbidden Forest. Not massively interested, but will be nice to have along with the Borgin & Burke's Floo Network if I do mock that out. In terms of this one, the Hogwarts Castle and Grounds, I think it's been reviewed quite a bit and people think it's pretty good value, really displayable. There is another micro scale Hogwarts Castle which is much bigger and much more expensive than this one, but my wife was really keen on this, and I think it's something that we're going to build together and then get on display. May build it together in the build up to Christmas and watch the Harry Potter films at the same time. The main reason we were at the Lego store on 1st of September though was for this one, and we can tell it was for a new set, as this says do not put on shelf before September 1st 2024, and if I spin this around I think that's the way it's going to look best. We'll be able to see that it is the Legend of Zelda Great Deku Tree. So really excited for this one, and I will be doing a build and review of it. might take a little while. I think it's fairly substantial. We've got 2,500 pieces. It wasn't the best value by any means, which is exactly why I need you to subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, I think it was a difficult one to resist, and really pleased to get my hands on it. It seemed pretty popular on the day. There was a fair old queue, a fair old line before we got into the store, although we did turn up early, so didn't have to wait too long. One thing to note with this one is that even though this was inside another box, actually my actual box is a little bit scuffed up, so just all here and there as well, which is a bit disappointing when it's a kind of premium product with a relatively premium price, but doesn't stop me being excited for this one. And I think that the minifigs especially, although not the biggest selection, I think that they look to be done absolutely perfectly. So it'd be really nice to actually get them built and see what they look like then. But in terms of the printing and stuff, it does look exceptional. And I'm hopeful that this is sitting under its own kind of product line, Legend of Zelda. So hopefully we're going to get some more sets and some more awesome minifigures and hopefully big figs as well. I think I might actually do a video talking about what we can expect to see or hope to see from the Legend of Zelda line. The final thing today then is a really quick studio update. So the first thing to say is that I actually picked up another cheap softbox light. So I've actually got 2 light sources, so it does mean reviews and stuff look a bit better. I've had that for about a month and a half now. I think it's made a big difference. It's a big mess in here, but that is because I've actually just moved some shelving into under the stairs, and I'm going to get a lot of this stuff all put onto there instead of just stuffed into here on the floor. If anything did go wrong and there was any kind of damp or anything, then the last thing you want is for all these sets, which are just being saved up there, GWPs, etc. Yeah, I wouldn't want those to be on the floor. So going to get those on that shelving, and that should look a lot better. The other thing apart from that is I did pick up this print. So it's on a canvas, and I think just adds something to the room. Otherwise it was looking a bit bare, but I still think I need to get some kind of Lego art around the side. I might get some minifigs put up onto a board or something and get them displayed that way. But yeah, last things last, I'll get this shelving stocked with boxes, and then I'll say goodbye after that. Okay, so now I've got that shelving filled. Actually looks a bit better. So the top 3 shelves are all stuff that I'm planning on flipping in the future. So we've got all those 9 Star Wars Young Jedi Adventure sets that I picked up, but also some other Star Wars sets just there. And then mostly the top 2 shelves are kind of gifts with purchase that I've picked up. So when I do shop with Lego.com, do try and do it when there's gifts with purchase on. Even if I don't necessarily want to build them, it's something that can work as an investment for the future and fund future purchases. The bottom couple of shelves are actually things that we'll build ourselves in the future. So we've got a couple of the Disney Up houses. I think we bought one for ourselves and then got given one as a gift, but that's perfect because it means we can build an enclosed version. And then there's some various other sets, including that F1 car that I showed you earlier. Also got a really big Monkey Kid set down there that I'm looking forward to building in the future, but all saved up for the cold winter months. Doesn't mean it's perfect in here. Still got some stuff on the floor, mostly kind of booklets that I've wanted to keep and empty boxes for sets that will likely be worth something if I did want to sell them on in the future. And then at the back here, got lots of Halloween and Christmas decorations, so at least we've got a bit more space in here for that. But yeah, looking forward to filling these shelves up a little bit more. And the big thing that's coming, of course, is going to be building up that Legend of Zelda set. I'm really looking forward to that. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this kind of update about the Lego room, the studio, and also the city, plus what we've got coming up on the channel in the future. And if you have liked it, please do leave a like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. But as always, I'll let you go and say, be good.